Hey guys, what's going on? Back here with Conquer Coaches at the Whiteboard. Now, what I want to quickly talk to you guys about today is the simple concept of block or step periodization, but relating that to the world of mixed modal or CrossFit or sport. Now, the objective for some events, depending on the person and depending on the response and what you're trying to do for the event, you want to be able to go big or hold on to bigger sets of a certain movement. From a gymnastics movement, let's call it ring muscle ups, okay? Now, oftentimes when people are putting into programs, they put in a certain number, whether we're trying to build capacity like 15s or 20s and around, and then as they break it up into threes and whatnot, and that's all fine. What I also want you guys to think about is with your athletes, taking the time of the year that they're in, when that main competitive event is in, take that movement and build upon it in a strategic way that's going to build the capacity for it. So, we all know that barring with anything, the first thing is to build a structure, stabilization, and a strength. So inside this movement, we want to first build the shoulder structure and integrity, as well as a lower body structure integrity for the hollow arch hold throughout the movement, okay? So you can maintain the proper positioning and flow. That's stage one. From there, we'll working on stage two, which is the initial strength, the strength of the pull, the strength of the dip, the strength of that shoulder turnover position, the strength of your grip and wrist and your forearms, the strength of the lockout. You want to look at every component and build the strength accordingly for that. That way, once we get to building the dynamic contractions, the strength needed for the volume that you want in that end result is already there, and you're not taking a step back once you get closer, right? Once you have that, we think about, okay, what is their number? What can they hold strategically? Well, let's work on that. So let's call it threes. Every minute they can hold three unbroken. So we might work on that and building capacity and flow and make sure technique stays dialed in. From there, we might think about switching, say now we're gonna build to fours and fives, but now we're gonna work on a flush. And we're working on a flush, or maybe you're gonna do 4 or 5 ring muscle ups. You're gonna ride the bike until you're recovered, a bike erg, not an assault bike, because we're gonna stay off the arms, and we're gonna come back in. So now what we're training is holding bigger sets while still moving from recovery to flush and get back on there, as opposed to a dead stop in or rest. So let's say we keep working and building upon this, which is the goal. Now we got them holding 7s and 8s, awesome. But now we're getting later on in the season. So now we might take that same number and say now we're gonna bring it back to 3s or 4s, but now we're gonna add in with other movements that you might see inside the open event that are gonna allow similar grip, bicep, lat, and or shoulder, tricep fatigue, muscle ups, and devil's presses, right? And the goal is to put them in a strategic flow or workout where they can hold their numbers unbroken while still moving and working with other movements that will cause similar muscular fatigue, and then build upon that. And now we're getting up to 5s and 6s unbroken. You can see where I'm going with this. The idea is to take this concept of what might be needed in that end stage, build the structure and the foundation for everything, then work on strategically adding in appropriate volume and intensity, then back off by adding in other components to get them to the format of where you want them to be come competition time. I hope this helps. You can apply this to anything out there, but be strategic and be intentful of what you're trying to do in order to allow for the optimal success for your athletes. Have a great day, guys.